Question. If I get business funding, how is the money disbursed? Do I get cash? Regardless of what I told the bank, can I do whatever I want with the funds after I get them? The bank has already thought of this. For the most part, no. You can't do whatever you want with the business expansion funds. There's no lump sum of cash that's going to go into your bank account. One of the reasons why a traditional bank asks you for a business plan, they do in-person meetings and they do lots of phone calls and emails, is to clearly understand what you intend to do with the funds that you want from the bank. You want to buy a building? You need equipment? Do you need a fleet of cars? Do you need furniture? Do you need office supplies? Let's say that part of your expansion plans include purchasing a building. When you're approved by the bank, they're going to ask you, have you selected a building? When you have, they are going to send you to their real estate department, where the funds for the building will be paid directly to the title company on the closing date. You're not going to touch it. If you need a fleet of vehicles, the bank will be prepared to write a check made payable to the auto dealership. Do you need equipment? The bank has a department for that. And they're going to hand that check over directly to the equipment company. Now, for the little things like office supplies, furniture, and other smaller expenses, they're going to be covered by either a line of credit, a business credit card, or both. Whatever the bank determines is best for them, the bank, and for your business. Next question. First-time business owner, new business. I will be the only employee. Rent will be my largest expense. I need $60,000 in all. My question is about funding the business. I have cash and great credit. Should I get bank funding? If you have cash, why are you asking, should you get bank funding? Personally, I would go to the bank. That way, my cash would be available in case I have an emergency or something along those lines. Just remember, the more cash you have, the more options you have, especially when there's a problem. Next question. I have a business that requires funding. Should I ask for more than what I need? Your business plan should be written to account for all the funding you need to expand your business. Anything else could be viewed as bank fraud. Next question. What information do you need to apply for small business funding using a traditional bank? Do they take personal income into account? The information needed to apply for small business funding depends on each institution. Some of the most common information requested by any bank includes 3 years of financial statements and a personal financial statement, and yes, personal income, if you have any. Some banks have applications that need to be completed and submitted. Most traditional banks will expect your business plan. They want to see your business plan, even if they don't ask for it. Next question. How hard is it to get small business funding? If you have some help, it's not that difficult. The key is planning. If you plan, it's not that hard. Next question. This is a news story, actually. A friend owned a popular business and asked to borrow money. Calls 2 months later for more money. The money was lent in exchange for 15% ownership of a popular business. The business soon after filed bankruptcy. This was a news story that was here in Houston, Texas. There was this gospel singer and his wife who elected to invest money into a restaurant owned by a former friend of theirs. Very popular restaurant. After they gave up the money, the restaurant suddenly filed bankruptcy. Here's my advice for anyone being asked to invest in an already thriving business. Slow down before you part with any money. Next question. What is the best place to get small business funding? The best place to get small business funding is at a traditional bank where you are currently doing business. Wherever you have your personal checking or business checking account, wherever you got credit cards. I was told by several banks that traditional banks typically do not fund new businesses due to too much risk. If you find someone to fund your new business, some sort of collateral may be requested. More than likely, it will be requested. Next question. How would someone with no collateral get funding to start a business? You won't get funding from a traditional bank. The bank is always looking at the worst case scenario, the end game, or the exit strategy. If you get funding for a building, for example, the bank is going to keep that building if you can't pay. There has to be something the bank can sink their teeth into. If you don't have any collateral, you're going to have a difficult time getting funding from most anywhere. Next question. My cousin has bad credit and wants to buy a landscaping business. $50,000 down, revenue $150,000 to $200,000 annually. Company assets $60,000 to $70,000. Is there a chance my cousin can get funding for this business with bad credit? No funding from a traditional bank with bad credit, or there'll be an incredibly high interest rate. For real, I don't think that any traditional bank will fund a business owner that has bad credit. And think about it. A landscaping business does not have a lot of collateral equipment that the bank is interested in, unless the company owns a building or some large asset. Question. What are the financial implications of putting my dad's business under my name? For example, how does it affect taxes, etc.? Any advice from those who have done it or something similar or links are greatly appreciated. The implications. It's not your dad's business. The business is yours. All the headache, all the bills, all the taxes, the employees, if any, are yours. My advice to you is to not do it. For more information on putting someone else's business in your name, click the link up here.